he didn't want to do the blood test. But then when he did do the blood test, he haven't got a knockout since.
Godly, man, that shit breaks.
We don't talk about is, Canelo. Steroids. They don't talk about that. So we don't know. We really don't know all the fighters he beat. He could have been not clean in a lot of fights.
You think he was clean the night he fought?
I'm saying, I don't know. I don't know. That's y'all.
What's up, everybody? I want to give a big shout out to Snack for always supporting and helping me out with this previous fight. Snack strong, baby.
Terence "Bud" Crawford is speaking out again, this time going after Canelo Alvarez's reputation. Crawford openly says he doesn't believe Canelo is clean. He's directly raising the issue of steroids against one of boxing's biggest names, the undisputed super middleweight champion. And this isn't some random attack. The accusations trace back to failed drug tests, suspensions, and years of rumors. While Canelo has always denied knowingly using banned substances, his positive test for clenbuterol in 2018 still shadows his career.
I don't know what the he was doing, you know. I heard that that's never happened to him until he got with Reynoso's group, you know what I'm saying? So maybe they are doing that they're not supposed to be doing, you know what I'm saying? Maybe they didn't clean him out at the right time and he got caught up, you know? So, I guess I'll just wait for him too. I just got to focus on July 12th. After that, anything can go.
Now, with a potential super fight against Canelo on the horizon, Crawford is saying out loud what many fighters have stayed quiet about. He insists Canelo is not clean. Back in 2018, Canelo failed 2 drug tests for clenbuterol, a banned substance that helps fighters build muscle while cutting fat. The timing was explosive. It happened right before his rematch with Gennady Golovkin and shook the boxing world.
Fucking Canelo, man. I don't know if he's cheating.
What do you mean?
I feel like Canelo juices. But I'm a Triple G fan, so I'm a say that ahead of time. I just like Triple G.
There's a lot of money on the line, and if I could get away with it, I would do it as well.
Some tainted beefs.
I think, he definitely got busted once for something. But it could have been from tainted beef. We don't know. But it also could be that, we should probably leave them the fuck alone and let them do whatever they want to do. Do you want to see Manny Pacquiao fight or not? Right? I want to see him juiced up, fighting at 45 years of age, coming in with a full six-pack, lighting people on fire.
Canelo offered his explanation at the time, claiming the positive results came from eating contaminated beef in Mexico. To be fair, that claim wasn't far-fetched. The World Anti-Doping Agency had already warned that clenbuterol could show up in Mexican beef.
Canelo Alvarez failed a drug test before his big Triple G fight in May, and he's blaming Mexican cows. All right, here's the deal. 2 months until the rematch with Gennady Golovkin on May 5th is going to be the big fight, and he's been taking drug tests leading up to the fight, standard operating procedure. This time he popped for a substance called clenbuterol, which is a banned substance. As a matter of fact, it helps you cut weight. A lot of people use it illegally to cut weight while maintaining muscle mass. He is saying he did not cheat. He's not a cheater. I did not intentionally take clenbuterol. Problem is, I've been training in Mexico and eating contaminated cow beef. That's what he's saying. There's a problem apparently in Mexico where some of the cattle are being injected with clenbuterol, which helps cows. It's illegal in the United States, but some places outside the United States, even some places in the United States, will use clenbuterol to grow bigger cows, to up the protein content in the meat. And he's saying that what he had was contaminated meat because his training center is in Mexico and there's a problem with Mexican meat.
In fact, several soccer players, Olympians, and boxers also tested positive for clenbuterol after consuming meat in Mexico.
There's not much you can do either. The other thing about it is, once your body doesn't produce it anymore and you're in your late 30s like that and you've been juicing for a long time.
There's Clomid and stuff that tries to, or HCT or HTC. What's is that that's a cell phone. Either way.
HCG or something like that?
Whatever it is, but it's supposed to boost your testosterone naturally, but never to the levels when you're injecting that Jamba Juice.
No, not only that, though, you can't take that stuff. It's
not
illegal.
in the UFC.
Right, it's illegal.
I'm just saying that's true. I guess when he retires, he can do whatever the fuck he wants.
Yeah. Yeah, when he retires or goes to Ryzen. Can you imagine if the UFC lets him out of the contract and then all of a sudden he disappears for 8 months and we hear just locked in the house with horse meat,
bad,
just just fillet of horse all day.
He's eating that Canelo meat.
And goes back to deadlifting and hanging out with power lifters.
Canelo admitted he should have been more cautious. He even stopped eating beef after the scandal. He said, "I was irresponsible and didn't educate myself, but I never cheated on purpose. I don't need drugs to fight. My discipline is what wins."
Floyd Mayweather Jr. just reignited controversy about Canelo Alvarez's legacy. Not only did he call their 2013 fight easy, Floyd went deeper. He brought up the failed steroid test from 2018, Mayweather said. Canelo's transformation raised red flags and questioned whether all those knockouts were clean. This dude talking about eating bad meat? Are you eating steroid cows? To Mayweather. This isn't trash talk, it's about protecting the sport. He believes Canelo's record is clouded by performance enhancers, especially against smaller fighters. With Crawford stepping up in weight, Floyd's warning hits hard. Be smart. Don't base everything on power.
Still, the damage was done. Even though Nevada only suspended him for 6 months, the doubt never faded. In boxing, one failed test follows you forever. Now Crawford is digging that history back up before their fight. He recently said, "I don't believe he's clean. Nobody gets that big, that strong, and that dominant without help." And Crawford isn't alone. Gennady Golovkin once called Canelo a cheater. David Benavidez asked, "How can 5 people in your camp test positive and still expect fans to believe you're clean?" Jermall Charlo went further, claiming most fighters use something and accusing Canelo of doing it for years.
Nothing. Jamal, I'm just asking, when you think about Canelo and the PED usage, right? This is probably the 4th or 5th fighter out of that camp that's come up hot for PEDs. Just what are your thoughts around that? And
I've been telling y'all about Snack for a long time. Victor Conte them. All right, so like, all right, hear me out. No bullshit for real. They make the drug at the limit of non-responsible. All right, so like this right here. This level is you're banned. That's a banned substance. They will make the drug all the way up to the line of the banned substance, but it doesn't show, so it's not responsible. So they've been doing that shit for years, but now that they, tapped into it, it's getting caught. Y'all think Canelo hasn't been taking Clinton Bruderol for a long ass time? Y'all think he ain't back on that shit? Or y'all think it was just in the state? Because I go to Mexico all the time, from Houston, from Texas. I'm in Mexico all the time eating steak. I ain't never got popped for no shit like that.
When you think about
they're micro-dosing it. They're look, no excuse. I'm not trying to put nobody out there. This not just boxing. This a lot of athletes all over the world. They make the drug right there to the line of like disqualification, but they don't surpass it. So they're not getting caught for it. A lot of these fighters are all kind of shit.
Crawford is taking those doubts and putting them under the spotlight right before the biggest fight of his career. From a business standpoint, it's clever. Anytime performance-enhancing drugs are mentioned in boxing.
When I talked about random blood in urine testing, I said I have to do it also.
right.
To show the world that when I'm going out there competing, I like to be on the even playing field. To let the world know that nobody's on my level when it's an even playing field.
Right.
Now, if you cheat, anything can happen. But on an even playing field, I will always come out on top. So, with that being said, you look up Lance Armstrong, Canelo, and the list goes on and on about athletes that's been cheating.
Been accused of cheating or been proven?
No, been
cheating?
proven too.
This been proven.
Yeah. Oh, with Canelo. Oh shit, I didn't know.
This been proven.
Lance Armstrong.
Okay.
And then Canelo talking about it was the steak that it was the meat that he was eating. The steak. So okay, now you eating. I guess you eating steroid cows.
That's why this storyline matters so much. This isn't Canelo fighting another Mexican contender like Jamie Munguia. This is Terence Crawford, the undisputed welterweight king, the man who cleared out his division, and for many, the true pound-for-pound best fighter.
The last fighters that you fought, they ain't on my level. And
I fought everybody.
The last fighters you fought since 2002.
Mention me one. You
Since
mention me
2002.
one elite fighter. Just one.
You.
Oh, me.
Look,
It's gonna be me.
I don't
And
care
you
about
will-
nobody else.
And you will see that. Day.
You. So when I beat you, is you gonna be a nobody? When I stump a mud hole in your ass, is you gonna be a nobody? Same shit everybody else been saying since I moved to 147, I ain't fought nobody. Every last one of them. Stump a mud hole in their ass and he gonna be next.
Crawford's career has been built on discipline and focus. He doesn't carry scandals or baggage. So when a fighter like him points a finger at Canelo, people listen differently. This isn't a bitter ex-opponent. This is an undefeated champion moving up in weight to face boxing's biggest star. Crawford's message is clear. If I beat you, nobody can blame size or drugs. I'll expose you for what you really are. Agree or not, it makes this fight about more than titles. It's about truth versus lies. To be fair, Canelo has also responded. He insists, I respect boxing. I'd never cheat. I don't want my kids to see me as a cheater. He even took extra Veda tests, including hair samples, which experts said proved no long-term use. He says it was a one-time mistake, nothing more, and points to the many clean tests he's passed.
No, lo de Eddie, de Munguía, pues obviamente con Munguía estamos al 100%, ¿no? Él lo sabe. Solamente él sabe lo que pasó. No, al final de cuentas sabe lo que pasó. Obviamente la gente le tira a Eddie que porque Eddie no le lleva su suplementación, Eddie no le lleva sus cosas de lo que tiene que comer, ni mucho menos, para que entiendan. Eddie nomás lo entrena y punto. ¿Cuál fue hace tiempo yo le dije a Eddie, tú tienes, el día que vayas a agarrar un peleador, ¿qué es lo que tienes que hacer? Agarrarlo desde todo. Tú tienes que darle de comer, suplementación y todo. ¿Para qué? Para que no te pasen esas cosas, porque ya han pasado. Y lo que sí tengan bien claro es que nosotros creemos en Munguía, que seguramente lo va a aclarar pronto, y lo que quiero que tengan bien claro es que Eddie Reynoso no le da su suplementación. Eddie Reynoso nomás se dedica a entrenar. Párenle de contar.
But in boxing, perception counts as much as reality. The test happened, the suspension happened, and fighters like Crawford will never let fans forget. On a bigger level, steroids remain a constant issue in the sport. Benavidez has accused Canelo's camp. Charlo claims most fighters secretly use drugs, and even alleges promoters sometimes
greatest Mexican boxing fights of all time, you know, in
Huge.
my opinion.
Yeah.
So I feel like I'm 100% confident in myself. If Canelo was 100% confident in himself, I don't know why he wouldn't fight me, especially since, seeing that everybody in his team is on steroids, which means
Right.
including him, so he never got off
You
the
think he's on
steroids.
steroids?
Of course. How
sure.
does five
You saw De La Hoya call him out.
how do five
Yeah.
people out of your camp get tested positive for steroids?
Right.
You know what I mean? All those fucking dudes in that camp are dirty.
Yeah,
True or not, it shows the deep mistrust in boxing. Many fans feel the same way. Legends like Roy Jones Jr. say steroids hurt their careers. Floyd Mayweather accused Manny Pacquiao for years. People question whether anyone is truly clean. That's why Crawford's words cut so deep. He's voicing what many fans already believe, that money, politics, and drugs still poison the sport.
Listen, however they rate me, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, we got to fight, and I'm going to win the fight. As simple as that.
Can I ask you about if there's any rematch clause with this fight with Canelo?
No, it's not.
Is that something you push for?
No, I didn't.
And is any weight restrictions to the fight at all?
No, it's not.
A lot of fighters would like to put on a weight restriction to this type of fight. Why didn't you want to do that?
Because I want him at his best. I don't want no excuses. I don't want no, reasons why, he didn't feel good or anything. I want him at his best.
So what does this mean for September 13th in Las Vegas? It means the fight is about more than skill. It's about trust. Do fans believe Crawford, the disciplined underdog moving up in weight? Or Canelo, the long-reigning champion, still haunted by old controversy? If Canelo dominates, people will wonder if it was clean. If Crawford wins, many will say discipline beat fake power. Either way, the drug angle takes this fight far beyond belts. It's about image, honesty, and legacy.
Canelo versus Terence Crawford.
Yeah.
September 13th. Now, what's interesting is I actually looked up the odds on this. I went on betonline.ag.
Yeah.
Canelo is minus 180. Crawford is 139. Which means that Canelo is favored. Not massively favored. So it's like the way this works is that you'd have to bet $180 to make $100. Almost 2-1, like 1.8 favored over Crawford, who's 139. So that means if you bet $100 on Crawford, you'll get $139 back.
Yeah.
That's how it works. I'm just kind of learning this now.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that Canelo's going to win?
No.
Really?
No.
So you would put your money on Crawford?
Yes.
You'd make money. Just put that out there.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think Crawford's going to beat him?
Because Crawford could find people to fight like Canelo, who is amazing. Canelo has he evolved. I saw how he evolved defensively and everything. I just don't think he's as fast as Crawford. And I think Crawford is just a little step ahead as far as movement is concerned. And so I think it's going to be Mayweather Canelo Part 2. That's what I think.
I mean, Canelo is naturally heavier.
Yeah. Crawford ain't going to knock him out, but I don't know if Canelo's going to land very solidly on Crawford. Canelo's way better now, but I still think there's an edge. It won't necessarily be exactly like that, but I think he'll edge him out point-wise. That's what I'm thinking.
So he'll win the points. Okay.
Because points. I just think still Canelo needs to be set before he fires. His basics are solid, but Crawford is jazz fusion, I feel. He can do unconventional things where Canelo is conventional. He's perfect conventional, but it's kind of like, it's like Allen Iverson. It's the crossover. It's the thing that you just a little bit different. That just gives you, all you need is that little bit of an edge. And I think Crawford has that.
This fight isn't just another massive payday. It's being promoted as the event of the year. Fans are divided. Some think Crawford is too small. Others believe his skills can outbox Canelo no matter the size difference. That uncertainty is what makes this matchup so hyped. Nobody can predict the outcome.
If Canelo couldn't knock out Charlo, or you really think that he's going to knock out Crawford? I would pick Terence Crawford to beat a Canelo Alvarez, even at 168. Everybody can call me crazy and whatever you want to say. I get it. Y'all didn't believe me when I told you about Spence, but trust me, Crawford will figure out a way. I know a secret y'all don't know, and I ain't going to tell you why I would pick Terence Crawford, but it's part of the secret is the reason why I'm picking him to win the fight. So
live only on DAZN, June 28th. Jake Paul versus Chavez Jr. Buy now at DAZN.com/boxing.
Man, what's up, fight fans? It's official. I'm gonna be the third man ringside calling the Canelo Alvarez Terence Crawford fight September 13th at Allegiant Stadium. I'm excited to be a part of this event. I'm excited to be ringside, calling this great card and this great matchup. Historic event for many, many reasons for both fighters. Super middleweight supremacy on the line, legacies on the line, your namesake and reputation is on the line. And I just take my hat off to both of these fighters for putting everything on the line late in their careers the way that they are. This is rare, and it's becoming more and more rare in boxing. Guys don't want this kind of smoke. They really don't want to face another counterpart that can ruin everything that they've built. And it really don't matter how much money's on the table for a lot of guys. They'd rather take a lesser risk for less money than to risk everything like these two fighters are doing. So I take my hat off to them. And I also want to give a shout out to Turki Al-Sheikh for all that he's done to put this fight on. Dana White for all that he's done to put this fight on. And one more person that stays out the way and you don't really hear a lot about, but that has done a lot to make this fight happen as well. And that's my brother, Nick Khan. He just gets stuff done, man. And I want to thank him and shout him out as well for getting this done. So I see y'all in Vegas, man. Part of me wants to be home watching this fight in street clothes, but I got to take the street clothes off. I got work to do. I got to put that suit on, get ringside with John and Max, and call this fight like I know we can. Huge event, huge implications, historic night, and I'm happy to be a part. I hope to see you in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. If not, man, tune in live on Netflix.
So what do you think? Do you agree with Crawford that Canelo isn't clean? Or do you side with Canelo, who says the 2018 test was just bad luck? Share your opinion in the comments, hit like, and subscribe to Boxing King for more updates.